Good morning, all of you, and thank you very much for making it here today. It's indeed an honor to be partnering with Franchise India and bringing together this entire day. We're looking forward to making this a very powerful day for all of us. And I just wanted to recognize the fact that a lot of you have flown in from outside of Delhi. I've met some old friends already as we've just about started the day. And apart from all the people who've come in to, hear what's happening on franchise, I did want to extend a special welcome also to our various speakers through the day. And I'm going to be talking about them. We've got some of the leading luminaries from the world of franchise in India and abroad come and speak to us today. So let's make the best of the day. And as we started conceiving the day, Franchise India and PepsiCo sat down and thought of what we might really want out of this forum. The idea was to see if we could create something which brings together the franchise sector of India on this platform. And I think that's something that's happening. Build this relationship, build this into a powerful thing that's taking ahead the franchise journey in India. And as we come together, the idea should be then to emerge and evolve thoughts, leadership concepts which can enable the unlock for franchising as a business model in India. It's already large. How do we just work together to make it much larger? Exchanging our ideas, our concepts, talking to each other through the day, and figuring out what we can do to make this wonderful business model really powerful and accelerate it as we move ahead. I'm so sorry, but there seems to, yeah. Some of this is information about the franchise industry across the world. As you can see, it is almost $4 trillion in size in 2015 itself. So that's a very large business segment that's there in the world. $4 trillion is lots and lots of business. Like in most industries, the United States is really providing leadership in this area as well. And franchising in the United States has grown by leaps and bounds to account for about $500 billion almost of turnover and 3% of the US GDP. Just that model goes on to contribute to 3% of what America manages to do. And that's a very powerful model that has been developed and taken across in various parts of the world. As we look at India, and that is the idea of coming here together today, there is opportunity to do a lot more in the area of franchising very clearly. This industry today contributes to about just shy of 1.5% of our GDP, but the projection is very bullish. We believe that franchising will go on to become about 4 to 5% of the India GDP by 2017, and that's not very far away. It's expected to grow at an annual rate of 30% and beyond if we can all work together and make that happen. $50 billion is the projected size of this industry in India by 2017. And very importantly, as this model evolves, as this model expands, we expect it to generate a lot of employment for Indians from all parts of the country. An additional 11 million jobs hopefully would be created as this industry goes on to become much larger in India. For PepsiCo, like a lot of you are familiar, this is a very powerful business model that we are using globally. We work with lots of bottlers around the world, and you will hear about that as the day goes on. But the work is very simple. The work for PepsiCo is to create demand for the brands that we produce, for the brands that we own, and for our franchise partners to deliver that demand. It's a beautiful relationship. It's a relationship that is flowering, and we believe that it's a relationship that's going to stand us in good stead as we move ahead into many years, like it would for various other organizations. I want to thank some of our franchise partners who are here today. Ever since we almost started business in this country, all the way back in 1991, Ravi Jaipuria, I saw Ruchiran's Jaipuria, and then the Khilanis, Mr. C.K. Jaipuria, S.K. Jaipuria, they're all here and they'll be here with us through the day. So I'd really welcome any conversation that you would like to have with them, and we'll be happy to do all of that. I'm going to now spend a couple of minutes talking about what the day is structured like. Like I said, we believe we've got a very exciting day. Right now, we'll hear from Shiv, Andy, and Gaurav about different aspects of what the franchise strategy could be as we move out into 2020 at an overall industry level. And then we move on to talk about what it takes to build a great franchise performance company. How does it become really powerful? How does the franchisor and the franchisee, how do they work together in order to create great performance? We've got a very interesting session coming up on capital market trends and business valuations, something that's going to impact the growth of to capital can be expanded rapidly. We'll spend time on that and then talk about what does it really mean to balance the interests of the franchisors, the franchisees, and the ecosystem so that it's a win-win for the overall economy as we go ahead. We've got some very eminent speakers from the legal framework coming and addressing us about what is it that it takes to work through the maze of regulations in India, and how can we make that simpler, how can we make it more effective for franchise to grow. And then we've got a section where we'll talk about operations and franchise. How do you make that more enabled? So I see this as a very rich day which will culminate in the distribution of awards to some, I think, outstanding achievers, and we formed a jury which has gone through a very painstaking process of selecting the winners, and we'll come to that at the end of the day. So that's how the day is structured, but very, very quickly, as we get into the next session after this one concludes, we've got Annie coming in, and the session will be about how do you build a great franchise company. And I'm really, really grateful to all the speakers who've come down in order to make this day happen. Very interesting discussion, I think, lined up. You've got the speakers up there. I'm sure you'll get time through the day to engage, and in any area of franchising that you're seeking to understand performance matters about, they would be great bouncing boards to exchange ideas with. Like I said, there's a day on the capital markets and the business valuation, and once again, we've got Mahindra Swaroop, who I personally have had the pleasure of knowing for a while. He's going to come in and talk about how this is going to impact franchising and its growth in India. Again, a very powerful set of speakers, panelists who will be talking to us and sharing their perspectives on what it takes to unlock what are today seen as constraints in the growth of franchise in India. We'll then move on to talk about how do we create a win-win across the ecosystem, and I just spoke about that. And Ritu, who works with a lot of franchisors and a lot of franchisees, will really be coordinating this session. And as you can see, once again, there's some very powerful speakers there. I'm very proud that my colleague who heads HR for PepsiCo will also be joining us at that time, Suchitra. She'll come and share her experiences of having worked with various franchise partners from across the globe in order to understand what it takes. And then I think we've got a very interesting session on the legal outlook on franchising in India. How is it going to evolve over time? And I can't be grateful enough to Mr. Sai and also to Rod, who's come down all the way from Australia to come and talk to us about what this means given various developments from across different parts of the world. And then finally, the day is going to conclude with a discussion on the operations of franchise. Once again, a list of speakers that we will be very keen to learn from and to hear from and grow with as we take this concept forward. The day is going to culminate in the awards categories, and we've got 10 categories. It's a pretty innovative thing that I think has been put together by the Franchise India team and PepsiCo in order to select 10 dimensions of excellence in franchise, and as we go through the day, we'll hear about it, we'll talk about it, and in the evening, we'll recognize some of the best performers from across the country on these 10 dimensions that it takes to build a great franchise organization, a great franchise relationship. That's all I had to say, and I look forward to meeting all of you once again through the day. Thank you very much for coming down. Let's take this time that we have together to really talk to each other, build our conversations, grow our network, and provide feedback to each other on what we could do in order to take franchising forward. Thank you very much once again for coming down, and I'm looking forward to a great day. Thank you.